My name is Dr. DINGASE ANNIE KUMWENDA. I am a specialist obstetrician and gynecologist from Malawi, Central Africa. So, first of all, we do not have currently any dedicated centers that care for couples that are struggling with childbearing or infertility. And this also poses a challenge in providing comprehensive care for such people. And the second thing is that at the moment we do not have any specialists trained in fertility care, and as such it would be a challenge to establish within country programs that can train more specialists without having to be sent out of the country for fertility training. So it means that there is a huge number of people that require such services, but there is only so much that can be done to provide such care. However, we do have a pool of obstetricians and gynecologists who are able to do initial evaluations and also provide an idea as well as counseling to patients to help them understand the problem. And where it is possible, these specialists do provide medication depending on the patient's problems, and also can guide sometimes where the patients need to be referred out of the country for further fertility treatments such as assisted reproductive techniques. For me, this training has provided an exposure to especially assisted reproductive techniques. Initially, it's only something that I had only read about in books, but coming here and seeing what else can be done for patients and what other options are there available for couples struggling with infertility has been an eye-opener. And also in terms of my career, it has helped me to map out what other possibilities are there, whether fertility care is my piece of cake or not. So it has been an eye-opener. And also for my patients, I feel that I have a better idea now that I understood a bit more theory with regards to infertility, and also what options are there, even though they might not be available in my country. But it's very important for the counseling of the patients, and sometimes counseling or helping patients understand what is going on with them is like a step further towards their treatment, and also it plays a big role in managing such complex pathologies. And in terms of my country, I see this as a gain, because now there'll be more people who have undergone this training, considering that in the past there have been other people, and therefore as a team I think we can make a bigger case when we want to advocate for such patients and for such care to be given a priority in the country. So I see this as also a big gain for my country, even though at the moment maybe we might not be able to do a lot, but it's the small steps that will later on yield to the bigger steps and achievements that others in the region and also worldwide have been able to achieve. There is a lot of misconceptions, and socially when we talk about infertility, it is very unfortunate that most of the blame goes to women. And when you talk to such women at greater depths, you find that they may be called names that magnify their problem, and as such it gives them psychological torture, or we could say distress, even though they may not always be able to express it. And because of the veil that is on the problem, most people will not immediately seek medical care, but sometimes they could spend a lot of time seeking care from traditional healers, for example. Sometimes they'll go to religious institutions for help when they can actually get help from medical institutions. So much as there is some awareness, but most of the blame is usually on women, even though it might not yet be diagnosed, and the male might not always be seen as the one who has the problem. So in terms of perception and awareness of male infertility, we could say that there's still a lot of work to be done to bring that awareness to the masses. One of my expectations was that I was going to have more knowledge with regards to infertility, and I am grateful to the team here that they have really done a good job in terms of sharing the knowledge, because we have had a lot of theory classes with regards to many different causes of infertility, how this can be approached, what equipment one could, for example, need to set up an effective fertility program in terms of treatment, and also the different drugs, how they work, and the returns that we can expect from them. The second expectation is that I was going to get a lot of exposure to patients in terms of like history taking, and also sitting in on counseling sessions. As you might be aware that most of the times in medical practice, for you to make a clear diagnosis, 75% of the time you are going to rely on what the patient tells you, that is history taking, and also examining them to understand. And sometimes it's the nonverbal language that you have with the patient that helps you to understand the depth of their problem. I am grateful to Indira Fertility Academy for accommodating us through the 3 months that we have been here, and giving us all the support that they could during the training. It has been wonderful. We have made dedicated teachers, and also to Merck Foundation for sponsoring our education in this important part of reproductive health. Malawi.